Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love deep emotional stories where people wrestle with betrayal, secrets, and family drama, you're in the right place. Today, I'm sharing some truly unforgettable moments. Real stories from real people. Buckle up, this one's a roller coaster. Story 1. My fiancé's family bought him a first-class ticket and put me in economy. Hey, I'm a 27-year-old woman, and this story still stings when I think about it. My fiancé comes from a wealthy family. I grew up pretty modest. We worked for what we had. So, when his family invited me on a big family trip, I was excited, and honestly, a little nervous. They were paying for the tickets. I was incredibly grateful. But when we got to the airport, my heart sank. They handed me my ticket. It was for economy. My fiancé, his parents, his siblings, they were all flying first class. I stood there, clutching my economy ticket, feeling small, humiliated. When I quietly asked my fiancé about it, he just brushed it off, saying, "You're used to it. It's not a big deal, right?" I felt so invisible in that moment. I made a decision right then and there. I turned around and left the airport. Update. He tried calling, texting, saying I was overreacting. But I realized, if this is how they treat me now, what happens after marriage? Broke off the engagement, and honestly, best decision of my life. Sometimes walking away is the strongest thing you can do. Story 2. I refused to help my husband's ex. After she got sick, hi, I'm a 32-year-old woman, and this one tore me up inside. My husband has an ex-wife. They share a daughter together. I've always respected boundaries. When she got sick, her family asked me if I could step in, help with groceries, house chores, driving her around. Not my husband. Me. I said no. Not because I'm heartless, but because I have my own job, my own responsibilities, and honestly, she has a big support system. Her parents, siblings, friends. But suddenly, I became the villain. My husband's family guilt-tripped me. His daughter gave me the cold shoulder. Even my husband got distant for a while. Update. I sat everyone down and set the record straight. I love my stepdaughter. I support my husband. But I'm not a replacement wife. I don't owe his ex anything. After that, things settled. Mostly. Some bridges stayed burned, but you know what? Boundaries matter, even when they make you unpopular. Story 3. I didn't tell my husband about my medical condition. Before marriage, hey, I'm a 30-year-old man, and I made a mistake that almost cost me everything. I have a serious genetic condition, was diagnosed young, and I learned to live with it. But when I met my wife, I was so scared to lose her, so I didn't tell her. We dated, fell in love, got engaged. I kept thinking, I'll tell her tomorrow, next week, after the wedding. After we said, I do, she started asking about kids. That's when the guilt finally broke me. I told her everything. She was shattered. She said it wasn't even about the medical risk. It was about trust. How could she trust me if I kept something that big from her? Update. It took months of therapy to start healing the damage. We're still together, but I learned a brutal lesson. Trust isn't something you can rebuild overnight. It's better to be honest and risk losing someone than to trap them. in a lie. Story 4. I told my stepdaughter to ask her biological father for money. Hi, I'm a 42-year-old man, and this is one of the hardest family decisions I ever had to make. My stepdaughter rarely acknowledged me unless she needed something. No calls, no texts, no effort, but when she needed a car, suddenly I mattered again. She asked me for thousands of dollars, and honestly, I snapped. I told her, "Go ask your real dad." It caused an explosion. My wife was furious. Her family was furious. But inside, I just felt so used. I wasn't a human being to her. I was an ATM. Update. I apologized for how blunt I was, but I didn't apologize for setting boundaries. Respect is a two-way street, and sometimes the hardest thing is realizing that love, real love, requires more than just blood or marriage. When it comes to relationships, family, love, loyalty, sometimes there are no easy answers. You can do everything right and still end up the villain in someone else's story. What would you have done in these situations? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more true stories. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.